In this video, we'll be going over the top upcoming games coming to iOS in the month of November. We've got a total of 10 games to go over, so let's just get right into it. And I want to kick things off with Smite Blitz. Yes, Smite is making the transition from PC, consoles, now with a new game on iOS with Smite Blitz, an epic tactical RPG where you can have the power of the gods in your hand, assemble your team from 60 different gods, and lead the gods to war against monsters, powerful bosses, and other players. Journey through a unique story and adventure mode as you unlock and improve dozens of gods in your quest to bring peace to the different pantheons. Smite Blitz is out very soon. It'll be dropping on November 1st. Next up, we have Clash of Panzer, which has been in early access on Android for quite a while, but now it's coming to iOS, and it'll have you select your tank, armored vehicle, or helicopter, experience fast-paced modern warfare. Single combat, team battle, and campaign mode are all represented, and every mode has its own unique gameplay and objective, but nevertheless, destroy all enemies will always be the surest way to win. Various tactics, every vehicle has multiple parts, which could be upgraded, increasing the firepower of your tank, increasing the maneuverability of your armored vehicle, and performance of your helicopter. Get into a fast-paced multi-arms combat. Clash of Panzer is due out on November 8th. Next up, for you guys that love RPGs, Romancing SaGa 3 from Square Enix will be out on November 11th. The celebrated RPG classics comes to the West for the first time. Experience a brand new HD remaster of the legendary 1995 RPG masterpiece, introducing optimized graphics, a new dungeon to explore, new scenarios, and a new game plus functionality. If you're a fan of old school games from, say, the early 90s, late 80s, this is gonna be right up your alley, and if you just want a charming RPG, it's definitely a game worth checking out, and again, with optimized visuals, great gameplay, and a solid narrative, surely to boot, Romancing SaGa 3 is gonna be a great title to check out for RPG fans. Next up, we have Word Search Guess the Phrase. Can you guess the phrase? Relax your brain and test your knowledge in this new one-of-a-kind game. Solve puzzles from all your favorite categories like TV shows, movies, and famous landmarks. Each hidden word you find in the word search takes you close to revealing the secret phrase. Whether you enjoy word finds, jumble games, crossword puzzles, or trivia games, this is the perfect way to fill a short break or pass the time while waiting. Unwind while stimulating your brain. Fun and easy to learn. Thousands of puzzles in dozens of categories. You'll never run out of exciting new challenges. Train your eye and test your vocabulary by finding hidden words from the word search. You can always use a power-up if you get stuck. There's over 2,300 phrases to solve, so quite the longevity in the game as well, and it is due out on November 8th. Next up, we have Micro Breaker. Micro Breaker has you discover and enjoy a classic arcade hit with a brand new and modern look wrapped in a breathtaking technology. It's a fresh take on classic brick-breaking game with a great and expanded gameplay that you've never seen before. Here you can acquire and upgrade amazing power-ups that will change your odds in more difficult stages. It's touted to be immersive and engaging, 2 different modes with unlimited opportunities, daily quests, and more, breaking in augmented reality. Micro Breaker is due out on November 13th. Next up, we have War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. It's a tactical RPG co-developed by Square Enix and Gumi Inc. and published by Square Enix for iOS, and it's gonna be released later this year. The story takes place on the continent of Roterra, on the world of Lapis, the primary setting of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and depicts a war between 5 rival nations that occurred in the distant past. As in the original title, the war is waged using the power of visions, physical manifestations of powerful warriors from different eras, and worlds summoned using crystals. War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is due out on November 14th. Next up, we have Roterra Extreme Great Escape. Tap, press, and swipe to solve extreme challenging puzzles in the exciting follow-up to Roterra Flip the Fairy Tale. Be advised, these puzzles are not for the faint of heart. Return to the magical world of Roterra where up is relative and you may need to walk across the ceiling or down a wall to find your way. Take your time and plan your moves in this perception challenging world. Things are rarely as they seem, and the correct path is often not the most obvious one. In the jumbled world, you may need dozens of moves to complete the path and escape the maze, but don't worry about getting stuck. Just flip a cube to find a new way out. 35 challenging puzzles, over 10 levels, and 3+ hours of gameplay are all being touted, and Roterra Extreme Great Escape will be dropping November 14th for just 99 cents. Next up, we have Gunslugs Rogue Tactics. Sneak around the enemy camps, complete your missions, and try to survive in the always changing levels, missions, and environments in a roguelike stealth action game. It's action platforming that the original games were, but introduced with a host of features that turn the game into a more stealthy and tactical-oriented game with some roguelite features on top. The idea is that you are free to tackle this game in any way you like. Sneak around and take your time to take down the enemies. You can do that. Prefer to rush through the game's guns blazing. You can do that as well, or you can combine both and go for a mixed combination and try to assess the game that way. Whatever the case may be, Gunslugs Rogue Tactics looks to be a pretty compelling title, and it will be out November 30th. Next up, we have Company of Heroes. Yes, the long revered franchise on PC is now coming to iOS, and Company of Heroes is the critically acclaimed and enduringly popular World War II game that redefined real-time strategy with a compelling combination of fast-moving campaigns, squad-based tactics, and dynamic combat environments. Command 2 companies of American soldiers to direct an intense campaign in European theater of operations, starting with the D-Day invasion of Normandy. Optimized for iOS, Company of Heroes features an intuitive user interface for swift execution of advanced real-time tactics in the heat of battle. If you want a quality strategy game on iOS, this is going to be one to definitely check out. Company of Heroes was great on PC. It'll just be interesting to see how the transition is made on mobile. Whatever the case may be, Company of Heroes does not have an official release date at this point, but it is due out sometime in November. And lastly, another major release of something that's more so known for its PC release, Football Manager 2020. Every decision counts in Football Manager 2020 with new features and polished game mechanics, rewarding planning like never before, empowering managers to develop and refine both the clubs and your own unique managerial identity. As you create the future, develop a culture, work with the board to achieve ongoing objectives, and plot a course for your club to progress in seasons to come. Club vision goes far beyond the boardroom, impacting on transfers, playing style, and competition expectations as you look to strengthen your club's identity and meet the multi-year milestones. Will be exciting to see Football Manager 2020 come to iOS, and it's due out sometime in November. We don't have an official release date, but hopefully it's out sooner in the month. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, come November, there are a lot of interesting new iOS titles to be released. From RPGs like Romancing Saga 3, big budget strategy games like Company of Heroes, Clash of Panzer, Smite Blitz, a lot of cool titles coming next month. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.